An antihero or antiheroine is a main character in a story who lacks conventional heroic qualities and attributes such as idealism, courage, and morality. Although antiheroes may sometimes perform actions that are morally correct, it is not always for the right reasons, often acting primarily out of self-interest or in ways that defy conventional ethical codes. There's so many antiheroes, and it's really funny because I put it out to the Facebookers, and some of their ideas they came up with were pretty good. But we're gonna jump into that today on an anti-hero version of
Dipping Milk in Cookies.
Attaboy. All right, welcome to another awesome anti-hero edition of Dipping Milk in Cookies. Guys, I am Garrett, your Cookie Commander Smith. With me, as always, Mike, Master Milker Segovia. It's so funny. This kid tells me this morning that he's having some stomach irregularities because of some milk that he drank probably at like 2 o'clock in the morning, right before he went to bed. Now he doesn't feel so hot. I think that's rather ironic that the Master Milker can't really drink milk.
It's like being Superman, just being a badass, and then like something so stupid.
Like a crystal.
Yeah, right. Healing
so
crystal is going to take you out. Fucking joke.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, we're gonna do an anti-hero episode today. Now, the word anti-hero can be construed in so many different ways. There's like I heard some suggestions for an anti-hero that was just like, how explain that? How does that work? But then there's other ones that are just the textbook definition of an anti-hero. So I've got a couple hidden up my sleeve. What about you? What's a good example of an anti-hero to you?
Well, looking at the list myself, I was kind of surprised because I didn't really think too much of the meaning of the word. Mm-hmm. And then when I kind of started looking at some of the names on there, I was just like, wow, okay, like interesting. Like all of them are very interesting because they're all characters that in movies or shows that I enjoyed watching them be portrayed as. Like, for example, like the Punisher's one.
That was the main one. That was the one thing I was trying to do is like I wanted examples of an anti-hero, however, outside of like comic book canon. So, but I'm not saying I'm not thankful for the suggestions that everybody gave, which was awesome. Whoever posted comments on the Cookie Commanders post the other day, that's awesome. But I wanted to think more outside of the box. I got one. Let's see who it's from. Let me check this message real quick. I got one yesterday. Who was it? Pat. It was Patrick. We'll get because that's he gave me the best idea. Patrick Murphy, fucking big shout out, beast. I know 2020 has been a bitch, but we're gonna be all right. But yeah, I don't want to spoil that one until the end of the episode. But I wanted to go outside of the box as far as ideas for anti-heroes, because the definition anti-hero, like I said, is somebody who is always going to be an antagonist, but if it suits them, they'll come and save the day. They'll be Captain Clutch. So yeah, I got the Punisher a lot. I got Deadpool. I got Venom.
All the classics.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. All of them, textbook anti-heroes, but they're all comic book canon. So
yeah, I got a bunch that are not.
Okay, yeah, let me hear them.
Well, Walter White, Tony Soprano, Don Draper, I believe from Mad Men, Dexter Morgan.
Oh yeah, Dexter is a perfect example.
Michael Corleone, the man with no name, so people don't know that.
Clint Eastwood. Yep.
The narrator from Fight Club. Like, Travis Bickle, the Robert De Niro character from
Taxi Driver. Yeah, Taxi Driver. Or Taxi, yeah.
Tony Montana. Randall McMurphy.
How's Tony Montana?
I don't know. He's part of the list.
That wasn't my list.
Well, he's on this list.
Okay, so stop there. Let's try to explain why each one of those is an anti-hero. So start from the top again.
Okay, Walter White.
So obviously he's doing some really diabolical. He can be doing some really diabolical stuff. But it's for the greater good of his family. You know, at first. I'm, truth be told, don't hate me, but I actually haven't watched Breaking Bad. I haven't watched all of that stuff.
No,
I've watched
we watched the series finale at Bill's house. Yeah, that's when I was like, well, I don't need to watch this show. Save your time.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Everybody talks about it. I don't need to really watch it. I should probably watch it. But either way, I know that he does some morally reprehensible stuff, but it's for the greater good of his family, because he's trying to make money to get his kid, whatever the medical treatment that he needs. So I can understand how he would be on the list. What's the next one?
Tony Soprano.
Okay, so Tony Soprano. That's pretty easy to explain. The guy's he's a mob boss. He's always going to do the right thing, even if it means I got to break somebody's kneecaps. But it's for the right reasons. So that one's pretty easy. Give me one of them that would be a little bit harder to explain.
Well, the Tony Montana one.
Okay, so Tony Montana. I wouldn't consider him an anti-hero, because it's just greed. Like, you come from the bottom, and I want it all. Like, he's got that huge globe in his front room, essentially. The fountain with the big globe says the world is yours. Like, that's textbook greed, in my opinion. I don't think he's an anti-hero, because there's nothing that he really does that helps anybody else aside from
gave all those people jobs.
Well, yeah,
gave them an income.
Yeah,
help provide their families.
That's fair.
Even though if it's not in the right manner.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, excuse me. All right. What do you got? What else do you got?
Patrick Bateman. The Christian Bale's character in American Psycho, I think it is.
Oh, he's definitely not an anti-hero. What the hell? What list is that? You just Googling a list of anti-heroes? Yeah, okay. Well, whoever threw that list together is a little TikToked, because that doesn't sound right. Patrick Bateman, he's a serial killer. He's a killer. So there's nothing heroic about that guy, anti-heroic at all.
What if the people he's killing are like... Because I haven't seen the movie itself.
You've never seen American Psycho?
No.
Have you seen American Psycho?
Nope.
No. Not fully. I know of...
I know the gifts.
Yeah.
I know the gifts. Yeah, you need to watch that movie, bro. That movie is really, really good. Let's see, who else?
Mad Max.
Okay, so I'll give you that one. Mad Max.
Looking at this list, I don't know a lot of these characters, but I know of them.
Okay, so in my mind, the list that I had, and it sucks because I didn't bring my notebook today. Today is just a very haphazard episode, everybody. So bear with us. Quit playing with the damn squirrel. It's like, so an example of mine, I had a whole list. Charlie from Camino gave me some really, really good ones, like the Grinch. The Grinch is a perfect example of an anti-hero, because 2/3 of the act, 2/3 of the movie, he's a dick. He wants to steal everybody's joy out of Christmas, and which he does without skipping a beat. However, by the third act, he comes back around and then gifts everybody their stuff back in a very heroic way, which it's ass backwards, but that's a perfect example of an anti-hero. So the Grinch, what was the other one Charlie gave me? Oh man, Charlie, don't be mad. I forgot the list at home. But the Grinch, I do remember the Grinch though, because the Grinch that was a really good idea. Going into some of the comments from that actual post, again, Frank Castle on here, thank you Chad. Lily came up with a really good one, Leon the Professional.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a good example of an anti-hero, because the guy he's a contract killer. He's a a contract killer, but now he's got this little girl that he just all of a sudden he doesn't have to take care of, but morally he knows.
So then you could almost say like the Hitman movie then. Well, I think that is it the one with Timothy Olyphant or the other one?
No, yeah, it's Timothy Olyphant.
Where yeah.
No. Get rid of this. So your sister though, she gave me that. She wrote on here calories. It's like a perfect example.
Which sister?
Because Jessica, the only one that listens. Calories, literally though, in all actuality, is an anti-hero because there are calories, certain calories, good calories that you do need, but then obviously, you know, there's calories that we don't need. So I thought that was a really creative suggestion. So thank you, Jesse. Monica, Marco's little sister, she put Catwoman. Again, it's just like, you know,
the world of comic books.
Exactly. But then she's got, let's see here, Arthur Dent from Hitchhiker's Guide, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That movie's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, that movie's actually really funny. Janet Leigh's character from Psycho, I forget what her character is, but she's the chick that gets. And that obviously she actually I don't know, Monica. I don't know if that one actually would work. I might have that wrong. Oh, excuse me. I might have that wrong though. John Constantine. That's also a really good example.
I thought I actually heard that they're going to redo that.
I think they are. I'm pretty sure.
Or
they
like
are.
a part 2 with Keanu or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's going to be fucking great.
Yeah. God, language.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for that, it's okay.
Yeah. We get a couple of them.
For that movie though, it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. One of my co-workers, Shannon, just fucking smoke show.
Language.
Duh. Anywho, she gave me the example Hisoka from where it's. Hold on, stand by.
Ahsoka?
Clone Wars?
No, it's from Hunter x Hunter or Hunter x Hunters. I honestly, Shannon, I've never watched that. I'm really not big on anime, but I did do some research into this guy, and he is super pervy, like real pervy. So Shannon, what's that all about? But I mean, I'm gonna check it out just for the sake of checking it out. But yeah, let's see who else.
I feel like I've heard of that one.
I was gonna say I'm sure Brad's probably had it somewhere around, and that's how you probably got wind of it, or he maybe have mentioned it. I don't know how new or old that is, but either way, that dude is super pervy. But yeah, from my list, I'm trying to think of my list. V from V for Vendetta. Mm-hmm. But see, now that one's kind of on the border, just because like freedom fighter terrorist kind of thing. Dr. Evil, that was a good example that I wanted to kind of touch on. Dr. Evil is a perfect example of an anti-hero because throughout all 3 movies up until literally the last act of Goldmember, he's a bad guy. He's a really inept bad guy. But a bad guy nonetheless. But like I said, come the 3rd act of Goldmember, he turns it around, becomes the good guy, becomes, you know, what's his name? What do they call him?
Ducky.
Yeah, there you go. And then yeah, he comes and saves the day. So Dr. Evil, and especially knowing your love of Austin Powers and everything Austin Powers universe involved, that was a pretty good example.
Pet is like a staple of my growing up. Like all the Austin Powers movies.
Absolutely.
I am the person I am today because of that.
I still use some of those lines to this day.
Absolutely.
Who's the other one? Jules from Pulp Fiction, Sam Jackson's character. Like obviously him and Vincent Vega, John Travolta's character, they're both they're both hitmen. Mm-hmm. So they take a majority of the movie being bad guys, you know. But after that dude comes out of the bathroom and just unloads that hand cannon, as John Travolta says, after that happens, there's like this reversal where he doesn't want to do it anymore. That was divine intervention.
Yeah,
and they go to the
shot all around him.
Yeah, exactly. Like he turns around, you can see all the bullets around him. But no, see, that's the thing. There was bullet holes behind him where he was, so like he technically should have been shot. Either way, when they're in the diner and the couple stands up to rob it, and like within his rights, because he had the jump for sure when the dude walked up, just like, give me your wallet. And he throws it in and pulls him down, puts that gun straight to his head. He could have blown his brains out right there, but he didn't. He didn't because he was trying to change his life. He was trying to change his ways, which makes him textbook anti-hero. One that I definitely wanted to jump into is Dexter. You had mentioned that before, and like I can't believe I didn't think of that one, because that is again textbook anti-hero. I could see the confusion between maybe being an anti-hero and a vigilante. Just a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's he's definitely an anti-hero. Because I mean, what does Dexter do? He kills bad people. Like, it's not like he's just like, yeah, he looks right, and then puts him on the table and cuts him up. No, it's he vets every single person that ends up on his table, like, thoroughly, super thoroughly, obviously having the access of being the forensic detective, or I guess you want to say. So, it's not for nothing, so to speak. But yeah, Dexter, and like you had said, you could kind of make the same comparison with Dexter as Frank Castle, the Punisher. Now, I feel like the Punisher, granted, he does only kill bad people, but I feel like he is way more easily. He would definitely be the one to go off of the handle, like, without any hesitation. Dexter, like, he's trying methodical. To keep. Yeah, exactly. Dexter is very of the mind of not getting caught, whereas Frank Castle, I don't care if I get caught because I'm going to kill you anyways. Like, you're not going to catch me, and if you do, it's going to be a really bad day for you. So, that's why I heard Frank Castle probably like 5-6 times from 5-6 different people asking for an example of an anti-hero, which again, he is a good example, but he probably is the example of anti-hero. Although Patrick Murphy, man, if we're saving yours for last, you had the perfect example. So yeah, it was Dr. Evil, Jules, and Dexter. Can you think of any other ones just off the top of your head?
No, I'm trying. I've been thinking of like other ones outside the comic book world, and
it's hard.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard, man.
You can watch any show or movie, and you can be like, yeah, all right, that guy's an anti-hero. Well, I mean, I guess. So we could try like Walking Dead. I guess Shane's character could be the anti-hero.
Yeah, I could go for that.
What's another one?
John Barenthal's such a badass.
Yeah.
He's such a good actor. He killed it. And ironically enough, he plays the Punisher.
Yeah.
He kills it as the Punisher. I've actually heard rumors that they're going to bring his Punisher into the MCU.
I thought I read something about that too, but I wasn't too sure, because I know they had some talks about doing the same thing with Daredevil and Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage's characters, all from the Netflix series. About
those were all good shows too.
Trying to incorporate them into the actual Marvel universe, but which they could, because now we finished up that decade worth of Iron Man, Captain America. We're moving on to these. It's a
perfect time to start introducing new characters into the mainstream MCU. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, those Netflix shows were all good. Aside from Iron Fist, the second season of Iron Fist was junk, but all of Daredevil, Luke Cage is really good. Jessica Jones is really good, and not to mention that chick is a smoke show. And then they did the Defenders series, which was really cool to see too. So yeah, I really hope that they start introducing those characters in the MCU. But we're getting sidetracked. The last example, Patrick's example, and again, so perfect. And he was the first one. You were the first one, Pat, to give me a suggestion, so I appreciate that big time, buddy. But the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. That is the perfect example that I was looking for, okay? Because 2/3 of the movie, that T-Rex is a dick. It's
Yeah.
always chasing after him. They're trying to kill him. But then come the end of the last act when they're in that building and those velociraptors are trying to, screw up their day. Who comes to save the day? The T-Rex. The T-Rex comes in, not on my shift, and starts throwing these things.
Yeah.
Starts throwing them all around and stuff. I thought that was such a perfect example. Because again, wanted to go outside of the box when it comes to anti-heroes. Because you hear anti-hero, the first thing that comes to mind is comic book characters. So, Pat, nailed it, buddy. The T-Rex from Jurassic Park. That's that's it, man. That's the one. That's the example. Oh, dude, yeah, Red Hood.
I did see that on that one list too.
Yeah, that's a good one. But again, comic book.
I think it's so easy for people just to go to the comic book world because there's so many characters and there's so many different companies that do comics that you can really just pick and choose like anybody. You could throw out a name and well, yeah, I guess kind of, you know, but like the comic book world's just so vast, and being able to just identify for a lot of people, because I mean, some of these characters were created for people to kind of really identify with, you know, so, like Daredevil being blind, like,
but being a boss,
yeah,
like dude will mess you up just with his other senses. I've always found that interesting. Wonder if, and I'm sure it is true. There has to be some sort of truth behind it. Like if you lose your sight, your hearing and your smelling, like your other senses will start to get heightened. But like he has like active sonar, like you tap on something and it's like, yeah, that's wild. But I feel like anti-hero, like the definition of anti-hero, like came from comics. Like I know it really didn't, but at the same time, I feel like comic book characters were pivotal in defining anti-heroes. Because I mean, like I said, dude, if we sat here and just did an anti-hero episode with just comic book characters, we'd be here all day. We'd be here all day. Because I mean, there's literally hundreds of thousands of different comic book characters to choose from. Yeah, we'd be here all day. That's why I should have put that in the post. Give me an anti-hero that's not a comic book character. That's what I should have did.
We got no response.
Exactly.
Saying the T-Rex.
Exactly. So yeah, that's the anti-hero episode, everybody. We got to wrap this up. We all got places to be today. So we're going to wrap this up. Make sure you guys swing by facebook.com/dippingmilkandcookies. Go like and share the page. Go like the Master Milker page. Like the Cookie Commander page. Make sure you guys swing by Axel Strat as well. Go like and share their page. You can find us on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. Freak bitches. Yeah. You got anything else you want to add there? Good, buddy?
No, next week I think will be better.
Yeah, I want to apologize. Today's episode definitely was thrown together very last minute, and that's more on my part. But luckily, we got this really great sound engineer that's going to make us look really good. So it works out. So yeah, with that being said, everybody be good, stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, and we will see you guys next week.
If you're not supposed to drink milk, don't drink milk.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too.
All right. Later, guys.